Well, Ultra-Long Trail across Montana has its first two finishers this morning. This is some of the video the two women took on the trip. We first introduced you to them earlier this year as they set off. Now that they are back, I caught up with them to talk about their experience.
Well, like it or not, summertime and the time for things like hanging out by the river is coming to an end. Just in time, Carly Swisher and Faye Reynolds have successfully completed their trip across the state, being the first two people to tackle the newly formed MT Trail 406. And as you could probably imagine, it was quite the experience.
In a canoe.
We canoed 149 miles.
On a bike.
We biked 1,029.
And on foot.
We hiked 340.
Carly Swisher and Faye Reynolds spent 58 days trekking across Treasure State.
You have everything from like watching a sunset over the mountains to also sitting in a pile of grouse poop on the same day, and then everything in between those feelings.
Looking back, they feel they were well prepared. When I interviewed them as they set off on the trail, they had a canoe full of supplies.
Our logistics that were so complicated going into this, the bikes, the boat, the backpacks, that worked out really smoothly. So that was great. All our boxes were where they needed to be. And one time they weren't, we got it figured out. And yeah, I mean, you can always be like, oh, I wish I had done more.
Their advice for others thinking about taking on the trail: be prepared, be okay with being uncomfortable, be flexible, and of course, have fun.
We actually got recognized from, people were either following us online on Facebook or had seen the news from when we left Fort Benton, and that was really fun because everyone would get excited. They were excited that they were seeing us like actually, out there, and we would get excited because like, oh, we got recognized.
Yeah.
And then people just want to talk about the trail and like, what are your experiences? And just like they're also outdoors, they're also experiencing their trips. So it's fun to connect and make those connections.
There were a couple people who said things like, "You're my hero that you're doing this," and that felt really good because I feel like a pretty ordinary person, and so I was like,
okay,
yes. And also I think that kind of goes to show that like with the right planning, that like ordinary people can do things like this.
For more information about MT Trail 406, check out this story on our website. In the meantime, I'm going to try to enjoy the river a little bit longer.